So, 2007 is when that happened. I left in 2019. You do the math. Between that time period, I was told how fat I was. My hair was turning gray. How ugly I looked. I had my arms bruised several times. I had my keys taken away. He stood in front of the door several times and told me I couldn't leave. I'm trying not to grit my teeth too much. I was yelled at several times. I would be yelled at for spending too much money on certain things. But yet when he spent money on things that were too expensive or things that were like things we didn't need around the house, it was okay. It was no problem. But when I spent money on clothes for the kids or whatever, I got yelled at. Or when I spent too much money on groceries, I got yelled at. I tried to keep the budget for the company and try to keep it from falling under because the person that owned it before us had tax issues, which we evidently inherited. And whenever I would try to approach him with it, he couldn't be bothered. But I tried to figure it out myself so I wouldn't be yelled at even more. But unfortunately, I had too many issues with it. And of course, we ended up hiring the IRS a ton of money, which of course ended up being my fault too. And of course, he called my mother and told my mother it was all my fault, which it really wasn't all my fault. He was partially to blame too. It's just that he was so unapproachable and everything was always my fault. And I would get yelled at for it being my fault. Everything was always my fault. I was stressed out. I couldn't sleep at night. I would stay up late at night to avoid things. He would end up going sitting in the bathroom for 2.5 to 3 hours to watch pornography every night. We would go to some weird church, which is some kind of cult church, where I was informed that it was my wifely duty to have sex with him. Yes, it was my wifely duty to have sex with my ex-husband. It was my job to take care of the cars, and all of a sudden it wasn't my job because it was not a wife duty, it was his duty. It was a manly duty to take care of the cars because I wasn't doing a good job of it.